Welcome to the Atomy family of over 12,000 people, including Global Atomy, who are simultaneously accessing the Online Success Academy. I am Positive Wonder Woman and Star Master Eun Hye Kim. The lecture I have prepared today is an 8-core lecture about following the way of success. I'll start with a question. Can you guess one thing that I'm really confident about? There was a clue in my introduction. It's my positivity. I started the Atomy business with just my belief in my positivity, and I can say that it's my key secret that led to my success. In this COVID-19 situation, there are some people who think that this situation is a hindrance to Atomy's business. But I think that this situation is an opportunity. All opportunities come with crisis. But depending on your thoughts and attitude toward the situation, that could be a crisis or an opportunity. Once you've heard my lecture today, I am sure that you'll be able to see the situation more positively. I'll pour my positive Wonder Woman energy all over you. When I participated in Success Academy for the first time, I had so many thoughts after listening to the president's lecture. The president said the following: don't decide your expenses based on your income. Decide the expenses you need first, then find work that matches those expenses. I've never heard this before. So that day, as I wrote my life scenario, I thought carefully about how much I would need. Child rearing expenses, the things I wanted to do, my dream house, my dream car, the things I wanted to do for my parents, my hobbies, and so on. When I looked over my list of everything I wanted, well, it seemed I was greedy. The amount that I needed per month was $30,000. After writing my life scenario, I found out the reason why I hadn't felt happy with my life. It's an amount you can't even imagine as a salary worker. I decided to do Atomy to make my dream come true and to become happy. At that time, the most urgent thing for me was my children. My happiness was important, but more than anything, my children's happiness gave me urgency and pushed me to work harder at Atomy. Since I was a math teacher for over 10 years, I was quite familiar with numbers. So I needed to check the marketing plan and how money was made. What I thought after seeing it was, I can talk to anyone freely without feeling burdened because there were no entry or maintenance fees. They can choose to use it or not. And there's an infinite level and infinite accumulation system. Even if there are people who aren't interested in business, all I need to do is talk and find those who will be consumers, and in the end, I can succeed. This is how I looked at my third success seminar since I first started attending the Success Academy. I'm going to be an Atomy global leader and promote Atomy to the world. A first-time Atomy member who's only been in business for 3 months. I look so young, right? It was 7 years ago. I said I was going to be a global leader. Usually people who say that they will be global leaders can speak English or other foreign languages well. But I didn't know anyone overseas, and Korean is the only language I know. So what did I trust enough to say that I would become a global leader? I trusted Atomy's Global One system and its infinite level, infinite accumulation system. I trusted that a global partner would emerge as I talked and made introductions. In fact, my Australian line spread through my mother-in-law, who introduced me to a friend, who introduced me to her daughter-in-law, who introduced me to her cousin. And now, I have global partners all over the world, even though I can't speak a single foreign language. Can this dream really happen for me? Have you ever heard of cooknoramus? Do you know what it means? Have you ever heard it before? It's a neologism that stands for cooking ignoramus. But even cooknoramuses have a way to cook well. What is it? It's following a recipe written by a cooking expert, exactly by the letter. If you improvise even a little, the taste isn't the same. If a cooknoramus follows an expert's recipe exactly the way it's written, even they can cook well. I think there's a recipe for success at Atomy as well. Just follow exactly the recipe for success provided by those who have succeeded. Then what's Atomy's recipe for success? It's what many successful people have used. The 8 steps to success and the 8 core list. The 8 steps have to be done in order, but actually, it's not easy to practice. And there are many people who give up after 1 or 2 tries. You need to consistently make a habit of duplicating the methods of success. John Dryden, a British poet and critic, said, "We first make our habits, and then our habits make us." It's a quote about the importance and fearsome power of habits. By making the 8 core list a habit, you can change your life. Today, you're going to find out about the miraculous habits for success, the 8 core list. Would you like to start? From now, let's find out about the 8 core list. There's 24 hours in a day. 1% of a 24-hour day is about 15 minutes. My question is that if you invest that 15 minutes and your life changes, would you do that? This is reading books. Can reading a book for 15 minutes a day as a habit change my life? There are people who think this way. But have you tried it? Have you tried it? Yes, I have. I'm reading 10 pages of the Bible a day. For years, I tried to read the entire Bible. I always stopped at Genesis. I couldn't make it a habit. But a missionary I had been friends with for a year suggested that we read the Bible together after hearing how much I wanted to read it. So that's how I started reading the Bible. At first, it was hard, but doing it with others pushed me to try harder. By the time I finished reading, it had become a habit. If you read 10 pages a day, you can read the Bible in just under 4 months. And then I went straight into a second reading. From then it was a habit, and I could do it alone. And recently I finished the second reading, and now I'm in my third reading. Then eventually my 10 pages of reading a day becomes 20 to 30 pages. So now I have a new goal. And it's reading the entire Bible 1,000 times before I die. You could think this is impossible, but nothing is impossible in the world. If I keep improving, I could even do 1 Bible reading a week. So, some people may ask, has changing your habit to reading the Bible every day changed your life? I can respond confidently. It's changed. As I read the Bible every day, my mind and thoughts have become peaceful. It made me think of how I should treat others. As my mind got peaceful, work flowed well. I stopped getting irritated by my husband or children, and I was less sensitive. My entire life changed. The list I've written here are books about dreams, goals, and attitudes. First, if you're a contractor, and reading the Bible is too difficult or not suitable for you, I recommend Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is because the most difficult thing for contractors as they do business is the difficulties that come from relationships. I think a book about this attitude can solve that. For first-timers in business, or those who haven't yet started, I recommend a book about dreams and goals. When I talk with my partners, some say, I don't know what to do even after starting this business. Things aren't moving forward. But what they need to do is the 8 steps to success. The first step in the 8 steps is to set a dream and a goal. Their dream and goal is not clearly set. So then, they don't know what to do first. Brian Tracy, a famous rags to riches self-made success, said, things like living well or being healthy are not goals. They're just wishes. Goals have to be accurate and measurable. So, a goal is adding time to your dreams. If you set a measurable goal and act accordingly, you'll end up on the path to success. I can relate to this 100%. In fact, I also wrote my life scenario, which is my long-term goal in life. When I started Atomy, I set a mastership plan as my midterm goal. To get to my midterm goal, I set daily short-term goals for meeting people, working hours, and VODs. I quantified these things and I set goals for all of them. So when I kept all these goals, I got to enter the Leaders Club and even the Royal Leaders Club. Can you do the first habit, reading books? I hope that you can change your life by investing 1% of your day. The second is a habit necessary for making decisions every day. Though you can change your goals or plans, if you say you'll do something once and for all, you shouldn't waver. People are quite weak-willed and waver easily. This habit is the remedy. The habit of watching VODs. Especially now in this on-tech age, there aren't many meetings. You should watch one VOD a day, especially lectures that can empower you. There are many official online seminar lectures, so you can watch one that motivates you every day. Then, it will give you the strength to bring you back to life. I also had a lot of trouble doing business in the early days. I didn't know who to meet or how to talk. The easiest way to overcome this was to watch VODs. So in the beginning, I watched the VODs all day. As I kept watching the VODs, the successful Atomians guided me. Get focused, make a decision, pay the price. So I made up my mind and decided to pay the price. What's 15 for 10,000? Among the VODs, there's a story in Outlier which says that if you fill 10,000 hours, you can succeed at anything. My goal is to make hundreds of thousands of dollars per year in 2 years. Then, I should fill 10,000 hours in 2 years. I made up my mind like this and did the math. I had to focus on Atomy for more than 14 to 15 hours a day. So I could fill 10,000 hours in less than 2 years. That's 15 for 10,000. Focus on Atomy for at least 15 hours a day to fill 10,000 hours. To make this decision and focus for 15 hours a day, you have to wake up early in the morning. I was raising a 12-month-old child then, so I didn't really have a lot of spare time. But I couldn't just throw him away. While my child was sleeping at 6 a.m., I went to the bathhouse. There aren't a lot of people at 6 a.m., but at the bathhouse, I gave out cleansing foam to middle-aged women. Outside the bathhouse, I also applied moisturizing cream. This was how I found customers. In the evening, I had to put my child to sleep. So I put him in a stroller and went out with a basket full of products. Even then, I was very positive. Instead of, this is so hard, do I have to do Atomy while raising a baby? I thought, I'm killing two birds with one stone, as I pushed the stroller with my child. I would talk about and deliver Atomy products to street vendors and shop owners during my stroller walks. After about an hour, my baby would be asleep, so I could put him to bed and get to my work. I didn't sleep until I filled my 15 hours. Whether it was doing face masks, watching VODs, or reading books, I tried my best to fill the time with anything related to Atomy. I had no networks and few people I could meet. But you have to find things to do with Atomy. Do some product research and study the product or the company. If you fill 10,000 hours, you too can become an expert in that area. The third habit is to participate in meetings. You might be thinking, what meetings in the midst of COVID-19? But you're participating in a meeting now. Hello! This is the on-tact age. There's a lot of people shown on the screen. There are video meetings, online seminars like this, and YouTube streams. There are many channels for meetings. Are you in an online meeting now? You need to make participating in meetings a habit because it can fuel your passion. Through meetings, you can revive yourself in times when you feel your energy getting low. And you can meet in small groups of 2, 3, or 4 people outside of the seminars. The advantage of those meetings is communication. You can check up on how you work during the week, share what you've done with each other, and get some tips. Also, make a list. Now there's a lot of Atomy online channels. Monday is Good Morning Atomy. Every Thursday is the one-day seminar and the Success Academy once a month. Invite your entire list to online events. Whether they go or not, just send them the link. Are you doing that? You have to keep inviting people through products and meetings. Network marketing history proves that meetings are so important to success. Many successful Atomians say that they succeeded by going diligently to seminars. But the switch from long-running offline seminars to online seminars could bring a lot of confusion to many people. There are those who are waiting for offline seminars to restart. But don't wait, because you have to adapt to this changed environment. Either offline or online, you have to do everything that you possibly can. Unlike other network marketing companies, Atomy has set up a really impressive system. I was completely shocked at this Aura Vision Hall. This stage is set up so impressively, and it makes my heart flutter. And on my way here, the Aura factory looked huge. Since Atomy is providing so many systems for us, our job is to utilize them diligently. If you listen to the president's lecture carefully, he says there are no conditions for becoming a contractor, except for just one condition. No need for a good academic background, appearance, or age, but you need to be this. Do you know what it is? You need to be a loyal consumer. Actually, I also just used Atomy products for 3 years without doing business. That's why when I first participated in the seminar, I could understand right away. Sometimes there are contractors who only see Atomy's company vision but aren't loyal consumers. For them, although they recruited many members and their lines grow, their sales don't rise. Why is that? Since Atomy has no entry or maintenance fees, it's easy to collect people, but they don't use their products. Sales don't increase unless you share your experience of the product. That experience and sincerity will get through to the other person so that you can make that person a loyal consumer. Not just a user, but a loyal consumer. Being a loyal consumer who loves Atomy products is important. Everyone, think about it carefully. If you really like a product, it comes through. You should talk about the products that you like. You tend not to talk about the products you haven't tried. So for those who really want to talk about Atomy products better, you have to use them to the point where you get a strong impression. Is it my skin shining? I'm in love with the new Synergy Ampoule. Since I felt the difference in my skin after using it, I talk about it without thinking. I'm sure that there's an Atomy product that makes you feel this level of sincerity. To become a loyal product consumer, I hope that you check loyal product consumption as part of your 8 core habits. The 5th habit is company explanation. But some people feel very burdened when they hear this. They say that they don't know how to do a company explanation. But it's not talking to a big audience with a microphone to give a company and product introduction and explain the marketing plan. The STP we're talking about here is Showe the Plan. Ultimately, it's showing the vision of Atomy in your mind. It can take just 1 minute. If you listened to a seminar and thought, wow, I can make $100K in a month with this business, you tell your friends who do business about this vision. Hey friend, business is tough with COVID-19, right? I know a business where you can make $100K. Do you want to try together? And sit down with them at the success seminar. Or if you're a young mom and you're an active Atomy consumer, you make some money which you can use to register for another after-school program for your child. Hey, I sent my kid to Taekwondo Academy with Atomy compensation. Then, middle-aged women's ears perk up. That's how you share the vision that you've experienced. Every single day, and if not, at least every 2 days, check O or X for your 8 core checklist on whether you shared your vision or not. Make company explanation a habit. Only mark O for sharing with new people. There's a law that I like the most at Atomy. It's the president's law of own mind. I succeeded because of this. If your eyes meet, just talk. President Park said, who thinks about it? They do. I thought of it like this. If I told 1,000 people and got in contact with one person, I have to get rejected by 999 people. It means the faster I get rejected, the closer I get to success. When I did make a list, I didn't think about who will and wouldn't do business well. I put everyone on the list and even those who could reject. For me, more rejections means more contacts. When you make a list, please don't make assumptions. Remember that the faster you get rejections, the faster you can get to a successful contact. So include everyone on your list. Don't assume and reach out to everyone. From there, take out the people who reject and pick out the people who respond and make another list. Do your company explanation steadily. What should you do when you finish your list? Get a list from people who are interested. Repeated introductions are how you can continuously move your business forward. The 5th habit of company explanation is very important. The 6th habit is sharing with consumers. This means check whether you are sharing and connecting with consumers, whether you've shared with them or not. I think that this time of COVID-19 could be a chance to increase the volume of your consumer group. Actually, I have a lot of lectures to give and sponsorships, so I had less time to make new consumers as I promoted. But since COVID-19 burst out, the education center closed its doors, seminars stopped, I had more time on my hands. It's boring to be at home, so I can't go out to meet people. So I had the idea of going out with Atomy leaflets in my bag every morning when I went out to exercise. I went around putting leaflets on doors. That's sharing with customers. Some might call and some might not. I put them up today and tomorrow and every day until I get a call. Then, when I drop by the store, I ask the owner, "Hey, have you seen the flyer that I've been putting up every day? Do you know Atomy?" That's how I share. In fact, during COVID-19, I've signed up more members than before the pandemic, and I've made a lot of consumers. Business may not be going well for those who are self-employed these days. It would be good to share about Atomy with them. You should share about Atomy. Since it's an on-tact age, it's hard for not only Korea, but the entire world to meet in person and do anything. However, global contact is possible. It was harder to make contact with foreigners because of language barriers, but online, you can use auto-translate. You can use auto-translate to write, and through it, you can post on Instagram, Facebook, etc. Atomy can be known not only in India and Hong Kong, where it is about to open, but also in the global community with existing branches. For me, I wanted to focus on sharing with consumers. So I started using a lot of group chats. Not just a general group chat. For example, I made a group chat for people interested in beauty. And another group chat for people interested in diet. In those chats, I put information about beauty or diet. Since it's an Atomy-related chat, it's natural to invite consumers, and I can give them helpful information. I see that they want to buy this Atomy product and that product. And eventually, they became loyal consumers and auto-consumers. Then I go to meet those auto-consumers one-on-one. I ask, "Do you want to study Atomy with me for just 3 months?" I did that, and at some point, those people became contractors. Everyone, it's totally possible depending on how you think. The seventh habit is consultation. It can be difficult. It can be hard to get in contact with a sponsor that's far away, and you might not know what to consult about, but it's simple. I can say, follow-up is getting familiar with your partners or consumers. And consultation is like getting familiar with your sponsor. For the most part, the reason people don't do consultation is because they didn't do anything. But even then, you can still just say hi or ask how your sponsor is doing. Have you been well? How was your day? You should start by getting familiar with them. When I have to consult suddenly with a partner with whom I haven't communicated before, sometimes I don't know how to consult because I don't know their situation. And for leaders like me, who earn income, there are a lot of partners under them. Normally, leaders have thousands of partners. So, if you go greet your sponsor first, then they have no choice but to pay more attention to you. And if your energy is running low while talking to your sponsor, you have to find a mentor who is above that sponsor who can re-energize you. It's important to do this work with energy and joy. Do you think I have this kind of mentor? I do. My mentor has incredible strength and is consistent from day to day. It's God. I consult with and pray to Him every day. So I'm doing business with great joy and energy. And I hope that you too can find this kind of mentor. The final habit to success is building trust. And it is very important. In my case, I didn't become an auto sales master very quickly. My partners became auto sales masters before me. But, though I was late to become an auto sales master, less than a year after I joined the Leaders Club and became a six-figure earner, I thought about it carefully afterward. Back then, I thought to myself, I just made it because I worked hard. But now, after 7 years, I thought about how I could speed up like that. And now I figured out why. I started Atomy in Daegu, where I had no acquaintances and no one in my close circle. I worked very hard, 15 hours a day, for 1 year. I needed that time to build a consumer base and get their trust. Once those bonds were formed firmly, I was able to start to speed up, and in less than a year after being an auto sales master, I was able to join the Leaders Club. Don't forget that you can speed up from the moment you build trust. In a book called The Speed of Trust, it says that the higher the trust, the faster the speed, and the lower the cost. Being good at business is a small investment that has a high return. Then the question is how to build trust. Last month, Imperial Master Dogu Lee told us, SGTP, smile, greet, talk with, and praise the other person. In particular, talking about the other person's interests and relating to them is important. If you do this, you can earn the trust of the other person. The basis of follow-up is building trust. So you make the people on your list into consumers, and after you make them members, you build trust with them. Through building trust, you can make them loyal consumers and auto-consumers. Then you do the company explanation, share the vision, and create another business as part of your management. You found out about the 8 core list with me today. Everyone, do you think that you can make the 8 core list into your habit? They say that your biggest enemy is yourself. When I first started this business, I had a hard time keeping a daily record of the 8 steps to success in order. And I kept talking about how I wish there was a manual. Now that we have the 8 core list, there's no need to worry. The manual is here. Plus, if you buy Atomy's life scenario book, it has a month's worth of 8 core lists. So I hope that through winning habits and the successful habits of successful people, everyone can follow the path of success together. Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you're sleeping, you have to work until you die. Do you make money while sleeping? I made money while I was sleeping last night. I made about $700 when all I did was sleep. I've been lecturing at Aura all day, and money's coming in today too. It's systemized income. This miraculous thing happened to me. This is my income graph from the beginning of Atomy until now. After 7 years of hard work building pipelines, I was able to generate this kind of income. In the 9 months since COVID-19 began, my income didn't stop. Rather, it's increased. Everyone, isn't it a miracle? But can miracles like this only happen to me? I hope you will follow the path of successful people with unwavering determination. You can be the hero of the miracle. Your daily life will become a miracle. I wish you all the success as I wrap up today's lecture. Thank you for listening.